Right, party people. I am driving. Just went to pick up some El Pollo Loco and wanted to talk while I drive. How is everybody doing with your if you're listening to the Bootcamp episodes? I want to put that out there before the new year. You know, a lot of people, I was talking about resolutions before, and a lot of people, have this hang up about resolutions. We've all kind of learned to have this hang up because we realized at a certain point, I think society kind of realized, it doesn't really work. And so the purpose of this boot camp is, start now. Don't wait till the new year. For people who have that attitude, we're starting now. So we're going through balance of things. I don't know if people are going to listen to these daily. I don't know if I'm even going to post them daily or record them daily. But we talked about the balance wheel. I'm in the process of driving right now, so I'm basically going to ramble till I get to the point where I can read the rest of, the next portion of the worksheet. But just for review, how are you guys doing with finances? How are you settling with kind of the concepts that we looked over about finances? What do you think about it? Do you gel with it? Is it something that you've heard before? Is it something that even pertains to you? Like maybe you're good financially. And if you're good financially and that's kind of like a strong point for you, it seems like, at least for American society, it seems like that's kind of rare. So definitely pat yourself on the back. A lot of people, I would say the major areas, just in general, I have not done research on this, like formally, but I would say just in general, I hear people saying with Americans, finances can be kind of out of whack, as far as debt. Other things that you hear kind of are about weight. A lot of people mention weight problems, like obesity. And with obesity and weight issues comes a lot of other stuff. It comes with it, physical and mental and emotional issues that are attached to that. So many things can be based on just dietary choices alone, things like diabetes and things like that. But if you think about even like the root of what is it that makes people potentially obese, I think it comes from, a cycle of, difficulties with managing emotional challenges and managing physical challenges too, but they're kind of combined. You notice this more when you get sick, like when you get like a cold or when you get the Rona or something like that. You notice like you just don't feel well, you're fatigued, your energy's low. Even if you're not like depressed or anxious, you're still not feeling like happy necessarily and super like pleased to want to like be around people and super sociable. Like you kind of notice your energy dips. That mind-body connection is super serious. It's definitely there and not to be overlooked. But that's kind of one thing I've kind of noticed is it's easy to talk about the obesity rates and all that kind of stuff, but there's a root behind it. People aren't just like in good sound mind and of sound body and just every day making decisions to eat the wrong foods and the bad foods. Some of it's people don't want to cook. They don't have the energy to cook. Even if they're knowledgeable about what to eat, they might not go that route just out of habit. There are plenty of people who eat so much fast food. I mean, I'm coming out of El Pollo Loco. And I ate McDonald's for dinner last night. Like, I'm not saying that I'm any different from anybody else. Like, I've definitely curved and tailored my eating towards where it needs to go, but I myself am also, subject to this, aspect of society. And finances are related to all of this. It's like a lot of times work satisfaction, being worked to the bone. I don't know if you guys have seen this, what was it called? This documentary about, it's on Netflix right now, and it's called, like, I think it's called American Factory or something like that, where Fuyao factory comes to, I think it's Detroit, and it's like a glass factory for car glass, and it's a Chinese company that's hiring American workers, and then they have a combination of workers that came from China that are going to stay for like maybe 2 years. And there's a difference between, I'm kind of a spoiler alert, I guess, but there's a difference between the American workers and the non-American workers. The American workers care for safety, they care for, the pay rates to be good, for a lot of fairness. Maybe they're chatty when they work, and then there's like this discrepancy between, the Chinese thinking, oh, the Americans are lazier and they don't work as hard, they don't want to work weekends. They don't want to do overtime, and then they're interested in these unions, and the Chinese are, the management is kind of fed up with the Americans. But then you also hear the Chinese point of view, some of the workers saying things like, I wish I could work less at this job so I could get a second job. Or one guy who mentions things like, I don't have any time during the day, so I literally have this box of Twinkies for the week, and I'm eating 2 Twinkies a day, So it's like, people can say Americans are lazy, but it's like, you can't sacrifice your mental and physical health for your job. It's like, you're going to be useless. Eventually it all catches up with you. And I feel like that's where obesity at its root kind of comes in. It's kind of an opinion. This isn't like scientific fact, but it's kind of like, when I put all the pieces together, finances are related, but, when I put all the pieces together, even though finances are related, I feel like finances are almost at the root, because if you're not making enough and you're not, satisfied with your job, you're basically spending at least 8 hours a day, if not more, stressed out about your life, and your satisfaction with your daily routine is just not good. You don't have good satisfaction. And if you're not happy, like, of course you're going to have slumps. You're going to have days where you don't want to go to work, or you're going to get burnt out eventually. That's just natural when you're doing the same thing all the time. That's going to be completely a natural thing. But, up until there, that's going to be completely natural. And, I'm kind of curious, about that, just kind of like, am I seeing it right? Am I accurate in my kind of like breakdown of how these things are? You can have your own opinions about it. A lot of this is my opinion, and just kind of like taking a step back and zooming out and just being like, okay, how are all these things connected? Because they're not isolated. When we look at these balance wheels and things, it almost seems like, oh, it's isolated. You got your finances over here, you got your social over here, you got your other things over here, and it's like, no, but it's kind of related. It's all kind of combined. And in American society, that's kind of how I see it. It's like, people have trauma histories that aren't being dealt with. People have financial issues and stressors related to work and family balance, and then all this trickles down into like other health choices. The choices are kind of, I guess, what leads to the problems, like the health diagnoses and things. Because, eating one burger isn't, I can't say it's not going to kill you, but in general, if I eat McDonald's like once a month, and it's like not like eat like the whole menu, but I eat like one burger or something, but all else is healthy for like a month, I mean, that's probably not going to put too much of a dent in my health. But if I eat it twice a week, I mean, that's a bigger dent. If I eat it 3-4 times a week, that's an even bigger dent. McDonald's is easy to pick on, but McDonald's isn't the only place. I think it's just super familiar to talk about. But all the foods, all the foods that can be unhealthy are just so easy to access. And I know when I was doing the whole 9 to 5 and not home, not working remotely, I definitely fell into the trap of getting takeout every night. Even if it wasn't fast food, it was like high calorie food. I ate more because I felt hungrier. I would want to skip the gym after work, even though it was right on the way home. I was like, do I really want to spend the extra 45 minutes, the extra 5 minutes getting out of the car and getting into the locker room, changing out of my work clothes, getting into the gym, putting in work, even if it's 20, 30, 40 minutes, and then getting back to the locker room to get my stuff, and then getting back to the car. And now it's like, once I get home, if I live with all these people, I don't want to risk that someone else is already cooking, all that, we all know the story. I talk about it all the time. So, let's go to the next section. I think physical would be the next to talk about. I mean, all of these are important. I think they're all equally important, but physical is the next one to talk about. So numbers 1-6. We started last time with financial, which was numbers 7-12. So we didn't go in order, but I started with financial to kind of get people interested, because I think that's where a lot of people are right now, is they're trying to adjust their finances. And the complication with that is, people are getting forced to either work more jobs, which already, if working one job was not leading to healthy choices, how is working 2 jobs or 3 jobs going to lead to more healthy choices? That's going to lead to more stress and less healthier choices. Stress leads to less healthy choices. Unless, because I remember at times when I was like, when I'm stressed, I'm going to go work out. When I need exercise, I'm going to go work out. When I'm stressed out, I'm going to go exercise, because it makes me feel better. And when I kind of use that as like a medicinal type of option, instead of the burger from McDonald's to make me feel comfort, let's go to the gym for 30 minutes. And now I no longer want that burger because my energy is a little bit better. I feel like I'm making progress on my health. Why am I going to undo it and eat like 1,500 calories in one meal when that's like almost my whole day's worth of calories? Like it kind of curved the way I would kind of think about things. So when we look at physical, there is number 1-6. Number 1, I eat a balanced nutritional diet. Like I mentioned, for me, the biggest change I've made in the last maybe 6 months is just eating less fast food. I go to In-N-Out once a week. This week is already an exception because I already had McDonald's for dinner last night. I had 2 cheeseburgers and a 4-piece chicken nugget. I don't know what was up with me yesterday, but I felt hungry. For breakfast, I made a stir fry from Sprouts with it was like vegetables and a few little beef strips and some kind of sauce. It was some similar to like a teriyaki stir fry. I added 4 kind of Greek style potatoes. They're small potatoes with it for some starch. And that did not hold me over for too long, surprisingly. I was, I pushed my lunch past 12:45 or so when I was going to try to eat. And then by 1:45, I was making my food because I was in the middle of trying to finish a task, which I didn't get done. And then I tried that, and I didn't, um, I wasn't able to, um, I don't know, I tried that and I didn't get very far. Um, I don't know what I was saying. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so for lunch, I had these miracle noodles. It was like Thai peanut flavor sauce with these kind of clear noodles, and I don't think it was that good. The sauce was a little tart. I wanted something more savory, and I made some boiled eggs with it. I think I made 3 boiled eggs, uh, expecting that would hold me over, and I didn't even eat all the noodles. I think I ate all the eggs, and then I just wasn't feeling it, guys. I was not feeling that meal. And so I ate a half of a potato salad, a little container. You know how you get those containers from Sprouts. A lot of my food has come from Sprouts lately, and a lot of it's pre-made or just like like seasoned, and then you just kind of have to saute it. I had half of a salad that had arugula, feta cheese, chopped up pieces of beets, cooked beets, and candied walnuts. I ate half of that salad, so I still have other healthy groceries, like the other half of that salad. I still have some of those potatoes. I still have half of that stir fry because I didn't cook the whole thing. I have a whole other like broccoli and sirloin meal that I can saute. I got a lot of stuff that I can make. Those that I mentioned. I have a Greek salad too, a whole Greek salad. Like that's probably gonna get me 3 or 4 more meals that are like relatively healthy. Yet I just went to El Pollo Loco. I turned on my Uber Eats app for like 5 minutes to see if I could get any orders, and nothing came in. And I'm so foggy because all I was able to eat this morning was um like half of an egg and like maybe half of a piece of avocado toast. I really don't know why I couldn't eat more than that. Maybe it was nerves, maybe it was the lack of sleep, because I do think I woke up like every hour last night for some odd reason. I had like maybe 4 milligrams of CBD and about 5 milligrams of melatonin. I need to probably take 10 milligrams of melatonin, or 8 or so, because I have not been sleeping through the night, other than the one night that I took the full amount of melatonin. I have not, or 8 milligrams of melatonin, which was Saturday night. I have not slept through a whole night for like almost a week now. I've woken up at least 3 times, if not 4 or 5 times. And now we're going on the 3rd week of this COVID symptoms, where my brain is just super foggy. I'm easily exhausted. My mind's all over the place. So I'm lucky that today's internship hours, at least it was cut short. We're supposed to end at 12, and we ended at like maybe 30 minutes, 27 minutes or so in, and I'm grateful for that because I didn't get to do much, and I also am very just foggy and useless, kind of. I'm not sharp. It's just a lot. It's a lot, and I don't want to like keep talking about it all the time, but it's like for people who care about what's going on with my progress, it's like this is leading me to make bad decisions with my food, because it's like I feel like I'm not eating enough. I'm like, even though I have healthy food in the house, sometimes I don't feel like eating it. Like usually I'm not like that. I'm not usually like oh, I have this healthy food that I actually really like, but I don't want to eat it, like usually if I have stuff like that I enjoy, I want to eat it. And for some reason with this food, I'm like, I don't want it. Like it's just, not something I want. And I was like, I can't eat McDonald's again, but whatever was going on with my intestinal issues quite a few weeks before I got COVID, that seems to have mostly cleared itself up. So my intestinal state is a little bit smoother than it was, but I just don't understand. It's just all these things happening that are not normal for me. So for me, when it says number one, I eat a balanced nutritional diet. In the last 2 weeks, this is now going on the third week if I count Sunday, Monday. No, I am not eating very nutritionally. I've just been eating, and I'm not just saying because 2 days I have fast food. I'm saying, I've eaten a lot of instant ramen. I've had days where I was not eating enough because of this, the Rona symptoms. Make it so that, for me anyways, it makes it so that my taste buds are kind of off. Like, things either don't taste right or they don't seem appealing to eat. And it's not that I want to eat unhealthy, it just depends on the meal, depends how I'm feeling. And I'm almost like, this morning when I was trying to eat breakfast, I was like, I wasn't like nauseous, but I felt like I don't want to force myself to eat this because I wasn't quite hungry yet. And I was like, for some reason, for me, like, eating bread in the morning, sometimes I just have a bit of an aversion towards it. And then, like, cooked bread, like, I kind of throw it in the oven for a couple minutes while I'm, like, peeling eggs and stuff. So it kind of warms up because we keep our bread in the fridge. Number two, I exercise at least 3 times a week. Not lately at all. I could get there, but not lately at all. I'm in a group Fridays that talks about A1C levels, and they are going to be tracking my, everyone in the group's activity levels, how many minutes a week, and then how many minutes of activity per week, and then a weigh-in every week. So I've been doing my weigh-ins Thursdays for the most part for most of this year. So I'm going to keep doing my weigh-ins on Thursday mornings before I eat anything. And this week so far, 0 physical activity. Today was the day I wanted to have physical activity because I do have a bit of caffeine in my system. And so I'm thinking what my plan is possibly is eat this meal, get in some single sets just to get my muscles kind of in motion. And I'm going to use the foam roller or the massager or both, and just kind of get my muscles a little moved more than what they have been, because I have literally been like laying in bed for 2 weeks straight, outside of like getting up here and there to do stuff. But literally I feel like that's what has helped for most of these symptoms to recover faster. I'm still a little bit stuffy, but like you can hear, like I'm a little raspy and a slight bit stuffy, but I'm hardly coughing a lot like I was in some episodes I've recorded just barely a week ago. Like, I was coughing, so much that I couldn't even hardly record. I was just forcing myself to do it because I wanted to. So yeah, exercising at least 3 times a week. To do 30 to 45 minutes of like good exercise, that I usually consider the gym for me to be more focused exercise and more intensive, because I can do more like cardio and like lift heavier. But I do actually have quite a few routines that I can do at home, that I do actually do at home, to get in more workouts during times when I am working out. So I don't solely rely on the gym. Because sometimes it's like just the motivation to go to the gym might not be there, but it's like my weights are right near, my closet. I've got bands that are like, usually they're draped over the side of my guitar amp. Usually I've got my yoga mat just like out. There's a pull-up bar in the hallway that's just always there. I can't just use it, but I mean, if I put a chair, I can use it. In my brother's room, I keep this like large size exercise ball, and I have a smaller size one for like smaller types of crunches and things. Like, I have equipment that I just keep out so that I can just use it when I want to. 4, I am generally free from illness. I mean, this is bad timing for that question for me. But generally, I would say my biggest challenges are probably insomnia. That's something that, is a pretty routine issue for me. Um, and I my iron levels aren't where they need to be. They're pretty low. So I would say free from illness, I do have problems that are related to other things. Like I think those two things alone, if not more, can definitely put a damper on things like anxiety, depression, just energy levels, mood levels, irritability levels, just like my ability to focus and concentrate, and all that is like just those two things alone. Those are two things I've been trying to adjust for like this year. Those are two things that I'm really trying hard to work on um while I have more flexible time. Um 5, I have annual checkups and specific medical checkups as prescribed. I'm doing good at this one. I've only missed one appointment, and it was because I tested positive for COVID the Tuesday before that Thursday appointment. And that's the only appointment that I postponed. And otherwise, I think I had a therapy appointment. I mean, that was for physical health, and then for the therapy appointment, I think because I was coughing so much when I was talking, during that same week, I was supposed to have that appointment with my physician and then a therapy appointment at noon after that, and I skipped both of those appointments that week. But that was the first week that I was having COVID, so I think that's excusable. But otherwise, I haven't skipped any other appointments. I've been very diligent with my schedule of appointments, with follow-ups. Um, have I been doing what the doctors say? No. I haven't been doing all of it. But I've definitely experienced or witnessed the weight loss. So that's one positive of something that is working out, just from the less fast food. Like I mentioned, I do work out sometimes, but I don't work out enough that I think it's really contributing to my weight loss. I really don't think that. And I have tried my best to improve my sleep more, which I have done. It's not 100%, but I have improved my sleep a little bit more, and I feel better. A lot more. I feel better a lot of days compared to before. Um, if I compare myself to like December of 2022, this December is going way better, minus the COVID situation. Um, and yeah, I'm, starting this new group on Fridays is also another thing that's like helpful. Um, and I'm not taking the supplements as prescribed because they make me nauseous, but um, I might start. I think I'm gonna have to start doing it. Just because I want the changes, so I'm just gonna have to figure out how to deal with the nausea. Because it gets in my way. Like I've got other stuff I need to be doing, and nobody likes not feeling well. But it's like, is nausea 3 times a week more worth it than not having like the mental energy to kind of do what I need to do? That's kind of my trade-off right now, where I'm kind of like, I really don't know where I stand on that. It's kind of like, but my levels have been improving significantly since June, so things are getting better. If I were to take the supplements, they might improve even more, but I don't know for sure. And the last one is number 6. If at all, I use tobacco, alcohol, or prescribed drugs responsibly and moderately. I would say now I do. That was not always the case. I would say there was a point where I would, heavily use things when I was like in party mode. Like if I go to a rave or something, I don't think that I'm irresponsible. Like I don't like drive under the influence. I'm not saying I never have, but I don't drive under the influence anymore. I don't I've definitely like you know, I'm more interested in CBD now than THC. Like, THC is not going to never be a part of my life. But alcohol, I can't remember the last time I had a drink. I think it was, I know in February at one of my friend's 40th birthdays, I had a little couple gulps of champagne. I feel like there was a time after that, I just don't know where it was. I remember going out and I had, so I think, well, I don't know when it was, but I remember being in San Diego. So I know for in July at San Diego's Black Pride, I had a cider um, that night. I can't remember any other day. So July may have been the last time I had a drink. I was in San Diego in September. I don't think I've had any drinks in LA like lately. I was in San Diego in September. I can't remember if I drank at all when I was in San Diego. I definitely had edibles. But I don't remember drinking. I might have, I just don't remember it at all. Because sometimes when I go out with certain friends, I'll grab a drink or like drink half of it or something. But I really don't remember drinking. It's just not my thing because, you know, it has too many side effects for me now. Like, I used to be able to drink more and it was fun and like I could still wake up and just like go hiking or whatever. But now it's like I'm kind of out of commission for at least half of the next day. And as everyone knows, I wake up so early. It's like, who wants to wake up at like 5, 6 something in the morning and be just like dull till like noon or like 2 p.m. It's like I'd rather just not have the alcohol, you know. And it costs a lot of money. Like edibles, at least for me, I'm like, well, they're already paid for. I'm hardly paying for edibles on the spot unless I'm buying them for other people. Like usually it's like I already have them and they last me like for months. And so, you know, I think the last edibles someone gave me were in like August, and I'm not even fully finished with them. And I'm towards the end of being done with them, but I'm not fully done with them yet. And then, yeah, that's the last one. But yeah, you guys can think about your own physical. I like that they added this, you know, prescribed drugs or tobacco, alcohol, other things like that, like using them responsibly and moderately, because that is part of health. And, you know, Rona's throwing me off. And I do think I probably would have exercised more because I want to. My desire and motivation is there, especially because I'm so limited on things I can do. I really do want to do certain stuff. And I'll admit that for number 5, for the annual checkups, up until recently, I didn't really start going to any checkups. Like, I don't think I went to any checkups. I think there were maybe, like, so let's say it was like in 2000 or 2019, there were maybe 1 or 2 times around that period. Sorry, not 2000. In 2020 or 2019, and then maybe in like 2017 or so, I remember contacting my work's EAP program. I did that twice, maybe about a year apart, because that's about when I kind of noticed I was struggling with things, with like brain fog and all this other like stress levels and stuff. I was trying to get into therapy, but it was a little complex in a way that I was just like, it's just taking too much time to like do it, and so I just kind of didn't do it for that reason. But I did kind of notice that I needed some support on things. I think a lot of it was like work related. I do remember them asking about like, you know, do you have like substance use issues? And at that time, I was going out partying maybe like 3 times a week and going out for drinks. I don't think it interfered with my work. but I would say I was drinking. It interfered with my finances, I would say, and I was drinking more often than I thought I should, but also I was able to tolerate it. I had a pretty high tolerance, and because it wasn't interfering with too many things for me, other than the financial end, because I could have cut that out to kind of budget better. Because it wasn't interfering with too much stuff for me, I kind of didn't really label it as like a problem. It was like a slight issue, I would say, but was it diagnosable? Probably, because I did build a tolerance. I don't think I had a dependence or anything like that. But it was definitely something I looked forward to doing. It took my mind off of things, and that was my way of coping with things. It was a short period of time though, because I kind of fell out of having interest in alcohol and stuff. Once my tolerance went way low, and then I stopped drinking, it kind of, from that point, I kind of like, stopped caring to do it. It just wasn't as appealing to me anymore. But that's my experience. The last 2 weeks have changed a lot of things for me, but I would just say, I don't think I posted this link. I need to post it so you guys have the link for these episodes, these bootcamp episodes. But this is the most. I think this is the most helpful way to kind of look at things. If you haven't looked at them this way before, or if you have and you just need a refresher, end of the year, it's kind of good to do this, just to kind of see where you're at with things. It's really helpful for planning. It's not the only way to do it, but this is kind of like a more structured way that isn't like too overwhelming. I don't think it's too overwhelming. You're looking at about 6 questions at a time and just kind of evaluating how you're doing, and then maybe coloring in, a physical representation of that on this wheel. I'm actually going to go and color mine in later on today. I wasn't going to do it. I was just going to talk about them, but I'm going to color mine in. I don't know how long you can base this off of, because some people I know, it's like every week, every month, it's like a different story, right? Like for me, my December is almost like, I almost can't compare this December to like any other month where I've had other issues going on. Like this month of December is almost like not like any of the other months before it, because of the Rona and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to keep at it though. And, I'll talk about my progress with things. I will get into the plan part. I'll write mine down later when I get to it with you guys. But that's it for now. I think I need to get home, eat like an early lunch, and relax, and see what I can do later this afternoon or early evening. But yeah, all right. But hang in there with this stuff, guys. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you like it. This is the physical balance. All right, guys.